Speaker. My constituency statement today is dedicated to the people who work in the care economy. Today is Early Childhood Educators Day. These people do incredibly important work. They provide physical support, learning support, emotional support for our youngest Australians. And I want to say thank you to the early childhood educators, not just of my electorate of Perth, but to all educators across Australia. I have just come from the front lawns of Parliament House, where the United Workers Union and early childhood educators are protesting about their treatment by this government. They said when COVID hit, one of the educators said to me, she said, for the first time we were recognised as essential. She'd worked for 12 years in early childhood education, and she said that only in 2020 did she truly feel like she had been recognised as an essential worker. But that recognition was fleeting. That recognition was then ripped away when they took JobKeeper away from early childhood educators far too early. And if you look at what's happened in Victoria, you look at what's happened in terms of the treatment of early childhood workforce in Australia, they have not been treated as we would treat teachers. They have not been treated as we would treat our nurses, and I think that is very disappointing. It should be disappointing for everyone in this place. My son, like thousands of children across Australia, got his box of chocolates this morning as he wandered off to say thank you to his educators. And I would want to say thank you to everyone who looks after, not just my son, but all children of people in this place. How do you say thank you properly, though? You give them proper pay, proper respect and proper funding for the sector. Yesterday in the West Australian newspaper, there was an open letter to the federal government signed by Professor Fiona Stanley, a very well-respected Western Australian, and Nicola Forrest, another incredibly well-respected Western Australian, saying it is time for a high-quality, universal early learning system, and I endorse their call. I also, at the other end of the life spectrum, we've been talking a lot in this place about aged care. Aged care workers, too, have been poorly treated before, during, and sadly I am worried they'll be poorly treated after the pandemic. This government has disrespected workers in aged care and it's failed the families who rely on aged care services. The federal government could fix it. That's the simple fact. We have seen the interim report titled Neglect. Neglect. That's what we have been told in this place is happening in our aged care system at the moment. We need a plan. This government needs a plan. They can steal Labor's plan today. Minimum staffing levels, reducing the home care package waitlist, ensuring transparency and accountability of funding, public reporting, ensuring that every aged care worker has personal protective equipment every day for both hands.
Are there any constituency statements? I call the honourable member